Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Cancer. If Cancer is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. This is a horoscope for you. My goodness. All right. It's one of those days, isn't it? All right, Cancer. Our card tonight is the Queen of Cups, one of my favorites. Absolutely. Okay, let's see. What are these tea leaves going to say tonight? And so if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And also, if you would like to hit that like button or leave a comment, please do. I read them all. I so look forward to hearing from you. And if you're new to the channel, definitely shout it out in the comment section. All right, so we know we're dealing in our emotions, okay? We have that Queen of Cups and we know there's some emotional stuff happening. Not a bad thing, though. This is a real archetype of coming into like a deeper, more evolved sense of self, of our relationship with our emotions, our feelings, our psychic emanations. And I'm looking here, this to me looks absolutely like a very peaceful scene. It kind of reminds me of looking out at the bay in some like maybe like northeastern kind of cape or something, you know, kind of cold Atlantic waters, but you see a sailboat out there kind of sailing, you know, out there on the horizon, and it's a little bit windy, the air is salty, it feels clean and pure, and there is kind of a sense of being on the wind, right? Being fully immersed in this environment. There are just certain places where you go and you can't help but be drawn right into the kind of majesty of it all. The ocean is one of those places, right? Also going into the woods, into the mountains, going out into the desert, and just standing out there at night. Oh, what a feeling, like you're on a different planet. But I do feel like this is a place of serenity for you. Finding a moment in your busy, complicated, and yeah, sometimes kind of emotionally, psychically taxing life, right? Finding this moment for yourself to kind of just take it all in. Take in the beauty, the wonder, the glorious nature of existence, and letting some of that stress just fall away, right? And I'm not saying that this is a time where everything is going to be worked out and it's all handled and, you know, you're never going to have a problem again. No, that's not realistic. But I do feel like you are really kind of advocating for self here and allowing yourself to take a little bit of a break, a little bit of a reprieve, right? Prioritizing your mental health. And I think that's the big thing is, you know, you've been busy, you've been going so hard. You know, it's one thing after another. And yeah, they can wear you down, you know, and I don't feel like this is a energy of being like overly volatile or having, you know, these huge kind of ups and downs. But what I do think is it's just kind of a sense of burnout. almost even feeling kind of detached from your emotional life because you are just so exhausted by things. And I feel like beneath all of that kind of tiredness, there is a desire to kind of get back to the core work, a desire to find some kind of almost like a meditative state, a state that feels like it is recharging you instead of depleting you, something that feels whole and holistic and holy, right? And I feel that there is a real need to go to water. Generally going to water. If you have a lake near you, a river, a pond, an ocean, whatever it is, I feel like there is a need to connect. Now, if you don't have the time or you are in a place where you just don't have access to these things, finding maybe an afternoon, a morning, whatever it is, to take a nice long bath. To get in the water, maybe taking a shower, kind of getting in there and absolving yourself of the stress and really being quite immersed in those waters. I think that this is something that will be very grounding for you and of importance, definitely. Okay, let's see. We're going to keep going here. So it looks like we have O, or maybe it's G. GS. GS. Maybe it's a name, part of a word that is important. Okay, so we have a face here. Sometimes when you pull it out versus like being up close, you can kind of see more close, like a larger picture. Now we have the eye here. We have an eye here. We have the nose. We have the mouth, right? And they're gazing this way towards the future. We also have a cat. You can see the face here. Eyes, nose, mouth. Kind of almost looks like it's laying there. And I feel like this is, maybe you quite literally have a animal companion that kind of is one of your deep connections with another, right? This might be like your baby, your best friend. But I do also feel like this is a real symbol of being in a period of time where you kind of just want to be by yourself. You want to do things by yourself. There's a sense of really getting into that independent mode that, well, let's face it, Cancers are always very independent people. You kind of just like to do your own thing as much as you can. Your life might not be set up in a way where that's always possible, especially if you're like have a family or you're working a lot or, whatever. But I do feel like this is a period of time where while you are taking that break, I think that, it is really important that you let it be known, however, or whichever way that you can, with respect, right? That you need some time. You need some time for yourself. You need to be able to just take a moment. And I think that this is really any kind of distortion or a little bit of anger, feeling just drained, like to the bone, drained of your energies. It's like the next person that starts to talk to you about nonsense, you're just going to turn into a pile of dust, right? I just can't anymore. I feel like this is going to kind of counteract that feeling. I think that it really is. You need a recharge. You need a little bit of that hermit mode, and then you'll be right. So I think that this is something really to think about making plans to be able to even just have an afternoon to yourself, right? Just a little bit of time. It doesn't have to be like you're leaving for like a month. You're going to go live in the forest for a month, never going to talk to anybody or see anybody or whatever in that time. Although that sounds amazing. Low key, really sounds sounds like a paradise. Now up here we have, it looks like TC. Okay, so maybe a name or initials as well. We had GS and now we have TC. So I feel like we have a snow person right here. Right in this area right here, and you can see the eye and the nose, kind of a little carrot, kind of pointy. And then up here it looks like we have, I almost feel like a dragon. I feel like there is this real hope that this next season, and now listen, if you're in the southern hemisphere, I know you're coming out of winter, so looking towards a hot summer pretty soon. But we're going to read this as we're going into winter because that's what's going on here in the northern hemisphere. And I feel like there is kind of this real hope that this next season is going to be the one that really gets you on, that things start to kind of come back together and it's all running smoothly. Now we're going to use these cards, these clarifying cards. They are the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, and we're just going to pick 3 of them to kind of support like what is going to happen. I want to see if these Oracle cards have any kind of indicator. How is it going to go? I know that you're hoping and making appeals that it is, in your favor this next season, but we're going to see. So I'm going to flip through, and I'm not going to shuffle because I'm not good at shuffling. So it says power. Okay, and I forgot this last reading. This is new. I don't usually use cards like this to clarify, but I'm going to try. So here we go. We have the power card. Okay, now we're going to flip through and stop and pick another one. We also have resourcefulness. Ooh, I like that. Okay, and one more. And we have health. Okay. All right, so we have a focus on health. And I think that we've talked about that, especially in regards to our mental health, which, listen, the Queen of Cups is all about that mental health zone, right? The emotions, our interior landscapes, our psychic emanations, and all of this. So the health to me really is about the de-stressing, really not just like self-care. I'm going to go buy myself like a new purse or, get my nails done or whatever like that. Although these are things that are valid, of course. But I feel like this is really about making sure that you are giving yourself the rest, the reprieve, the ability to process things, to declutter your life where you need to, declutter your mind, your emotions where you need to focus on your well-being, okay? A big priority. Now, I do feel like, and this is a thing that is really quite a Cancer quality, is your ability to kind of find the things you need even where you feel like maybe they're not, right there. What does that mean? So like if you are working on some kind of like passion project, you have some kind of hobby or something that you're really into doing right now, and it requires maybe some kind of tool, or I don't know, some kind of thing that you need for this. I don't even know what it is. Like if you're an artist, you need some paint, right? And you can't really afford it right now, or you're not finding what in your mind, this is the particular thing that I really want. You're going to find a way, right? If you have to make it yourself. And here's the thing, Cancer people, amazing at building stuff, amazing at, really kind of figuring out what do I have already and how can I put that together to fulfill the need that I have, instead of going out and buying the thing brand new or whatever. Or maybe you're somebody that's really good at like going out and gathering, right? You instead of going and buying the brand new thing, you're going to like the flea market, you're going garage sailing, you are getting on the, on the internet, watching YouTube videos, figuring out DIY ways to do stuff. So there is this resourcefulness, and that really, I feel, speaks to your power place. And then we have the power card. So I do feel like, yeah, there is this growing confidence, this growing motivation, this feeling like, yeah, everything's clicking into place here. And I'm feeling powerful in my own life. And I feel like that's really what this next season is all about. Okay, so we're also going to take a look at this little plate here and see, what does this one have to tell us? Now, it looks like we have two people embracing. We have two people embracing. There's the heart, there's the carrot, and the I love. We have the scythe for harvesting. So I feel like this is really a desire to be with your, significant other, or maybe this is that you are yearning to have a partnership. That's not just about the, the passion and the physical aspects, or, kind of these, they're important these are important parts of a relationship, but I feel like the big thing is to have somebody that you can count on, that you can build with, right? I feel like it's almost like a desire to have a spouse, a partnership with somebody who you could even like have a business with, you could make money with. This is a person that, there's like kind of this stereotype, I guess, of wanting to make enough money so you can attract a partner that you want and you feel like you deserve, and all of this. But also, I think, there are people that we can be attracted to, that we can want to be with, but it's going to always kind of create a deficit in our life. And that may be financial, it might be emotional, it might be, that you're carrying the heavy part of the load, and they're kind of, not pulling their weight really. But your ultimate desire, I think, is to have somebody who meets you equally. Somebody who is going to show up for not only themselves, but for you, and you as a unit. And so this is somebody that like you meet, and for me, I've always thought like, the dream is having like a partner that like you're gonna get your credit right together, you're gonna stack some money together, you're gonna build a household together that is functioning. Everybody kind of plays their roles. Now, do we deviate from these things sometimes? Yeah, of course. That's life. And Sometimes you got to help carry your partner, and sometimes they have to help carry you. It just depends on the circumstances. But I think overall, there is this desire to be in this place where you can count on somebody. You know, they're going to do what they say they're going to do. They're going to show up as passionately about, you know, this life, this partnership, this common goal as you are. And I feel like that is something that's actually pretty realistic for you. And I think it's something that if you don't have it already, it is something that is on the horizon, okay? So maybe a time to kind of let yourself be a little more vulnerable, be a little more open to receiving kind of, you know, this learning of somebody. You know, I think for Cancers, it's like you have a lot of these desires to connect with others, but when it comes down to it actually happening, you can be resistant, and it can take quite a lot of time for you to ever really kind of open your heart space up to somebody. You know, it's a slow process, but it is worthwhile, especially when you find a person who wants to go on that journey of learning you, of you slowly unfurling with you. When you find that person and it really starts happening, I think that it is just so intense, right? It is such a belovedness. And I feel like this is something that will be for you. Okay, so we're going to do our self-care affirmation cards. I'm going to flip through. Did I do this already? No, I don't think so, right? Now I'm trying to think. Did I already do one? I don't think so. If I did, I'm sorry. I'm like I can remember the card I had for my last reading. But let's just do it. Authentic strength. I find strength and vulnerability. I am honest with people I trust. My struggles are opportunities for growth. I am authentically alive. I am authentically alive. All right. Now, I'm sorry. I'm not used to doing these clarifying cards, so I'm like, I keep getting lost in what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure out the flow here. But I do. I thank you so much for spending this time with me, Cancer. I love you. I love you. I love you. You know, I don't try to pick favorites, but you know I'm a sucker for Cancers. So, now, if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, definitely do it. I love hearing from you, especially if you're new to the channel. Shout it out in the comment section. All right. Cancer, I'm going to tell you again, I love you, I love you, I love you. Take care of yourself. We're going to talk in a few days. Good night.